sucker for love. And in this world full of suckers, you fit mine like a glove. The fit is perfect, but nobody above, yeah. The clock's ticking as the time flies by. We in two different worlds, but living the same life. Two different dreams, you make me feel so alive. Need you by my side, need you by my side. Just a power couple daily blowing off steam. Making love to you so damn seamlessly. We be doing it so damn frequently. Easy cause we on the same damn frequency. Take it to the Sunset Boulevard. Tell mama says she wanna tag along. She don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. Yeah, we'd always get along. Even through the downs, gotta stay strong. Now we singing the same song. All I ever did is think about you. I think about you daily. So baby girl, don't play me. All I ever did is think about you. They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream as the Lakers get set to face the Indiana Pacers in Indiana on what is the second game of the road trip after losing the last game. So the Lakers have to bounce back here, and it's not going to be easy. Again, last night the Lakers slipped to number 5 in the West due to the Memphis Grizzlies winning. And so just to keep pace in the Western Conference, the Lakers have to start winning here, guys. We have lost 3 in a row. It's going to take a lot of energy and effort from this Laker team to bounce back and just come back in the right way. I think, let's see, I think who was it? Magic Johnson? I think it was Magic Johnson who said, defense, defense. All I want to see from the Lakers tonight is defense. And I 110% agree that this is the main key right here for the Lakers, all right? We got to come out here and defend our tails off. Otherwise, it's going to be a really long night for this Lakers squadron, right? So, yeah, number one focus tonight shouldn't be the shooting. It shouldn't even be anything. It's just strictly defenses. Defense will lead us into our offense. And even if the offense starts off slow, if we come out here defending really well, it'll eventually pick up, and the Lakers will have a golden opportunity to win. But there's only 11 games, guys. Only 11 more games in the NBA, and it's going to make it really hard for the Lakers to go out here and, you know, with this schedule, to do what we got to do, take care of business. Now, we did already beat Indiana behind a career-high 45 points by Austin Reeves in February, okay? Now, but here's the thing. The Pacers have won 7 out of the last 8 games and 4 straight at home. So, again, going to be a really difficult game. They match up really well. They have good size. They got a lot of wings, things that bother the Lakers. Now, the Lakers are expected to have our full lineup available, and what's more, they made a tweak tonight because Rui Hachimura will be starting tonight for the Lakers again. Even though he's still on minute restrictions, the man is starting. So how you guys feel about that? Rui back to the starting lineup and DFS back to the bench. How we feeling, Laker fam? Talk to me. He said, I'm not expecting a W. I'm hoping for one. We got to defend. I'm just being real. But if we do what we have to do the last 2 games, we're going to lose again. So Lakers got to get it together. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm expected to win because the Lakers have the roster to win, right? We have to go and these final 11 games, we have to be able to, you know, take care of business. Will they do it? We will see. But I'm expecting to win every single night because that is the expectation that has risen for DTLF ever since we made this Luka Doncic trade and we won that 8-game win streak. They showed me we could be one of the top defenses in the league, if not the top defense. We haven't seen that the last 3 games, okay? So, again, I really hope that the Lakers come out here and they show out and they, you know, play their best to the best of their ability. The Lakers are 43-28 on the season, which is 15 games over 500. Meanwhile, the Pacers are 42 and 29, which is 13 games over 500. So we have very similar records. We're very both very competitive teams. And again, the Lakers slipped to number 5 in the West, and we don't want to keep slipping. You know, the Warriors lost 2 in a row, so they're not really inching closer to us, but they do have 31 losses. The Lakers have 28. We're tied with 3 teams for 28. Literally, if the Lakers go on a win streak, we can move all the way up to the 3rd seed, right? Now, the Rockets are starting to pull away with that number 2 seed. And they're starting to pretty much solidify that with that number 2 seed right there, as you can see. The Rockets are starting to pull away. So we got to figure out a way to try to catch up. But again, these schedule makers didn't do us no favors. We play today, and then we play tomorrow again. I'm not sure if I'll be here tomorrow because I will be at a birthday, but I will most likely do pregame regardless tomorrow. Lakers just got to take care of business, man. Get back to what we were doing before the injuries. Again, Rui back into the starting lineup, so that's going to fix some things there. It's also going to ruin some other things, right? But all in all, man, like Magic Johnson said, defense. Defense is crucial and defense is key, right? And we come out here and we're able to defend at a high level. I think everything will take care of itself for sure. Now, here's the thing, right? LeBron James will play. Rui will play. Everybody is available. How will Rui look in the starting lineup? What do you guys think of that change right there? Right? What do we think of that? Do we like it? Do we hate it? Do we love it? Because remember, when the Lakers did go on that 8-game win streak, Rui was in the starting lineup, and he was benefiting from playing alongside Luka. So even though I like DFS in the starting lineup for the most part, he didn't really fit early on. But, you know, the last couple games he was picking it up. I think I'd like to see this for Rui because Rui is going to be more effective with playing alongside Luka, I think, than coming off the bench. Right? That's how I feel. Solo, what's up, man? He said, we can't worry about the schedule makers. Our team hasn't taken advantage of the bad teams we match up against. That is true. That is true. But I will say this, man. It felt like they penalized us after those fires, those unfortunate fires in LA. They just added more back-to-backs, and it's really unfortunate. You know, it's like, oh, man, you guys are going through a lot. Let's go ahead and penalize you guys even more. I didn't like that one bit. But, again, that's just my opinion. Oh, man, Dan, you should dedicate a video to all of the LeBron talk about the interviews. That was a wild one. I'm very happy that LeBron James decided to clap back. I'm actually going to talk about it here on this video. So, yeah, for those of you that didn't know, LeBron James went on Pat McAfee or McAfee show, and he clapped back at all and everything. Before I get into the controversial stuff, LeBron mentioned that himself, Luka and Austin Reeves got to be clicking at all times at the same time. They have to make sure everybody is in tune in order for us to make a deep run into the postseason. So I agree 110%. Those are the three guys that got to lead by example. And I love it. He also took a diss at all those old heads that supposedly know the game. Some of those that played. He said there's so many guys out there that just talking about basketball that don't know the game. He talked about some guys that even were in the league that they just kind of took advantage of the athleticism, but they really were just going with the motions. So LeBron really cooked in these interviews. And then he went ahead and destroyed Stephen A. Smith, for those of you that didn't hear. You know, basically he called him Stephen A. Swift because he compared him to Taylor Swift, who was going around, and basically everything I criticized the other day was what he criticized. So I'm glad LeBron finally spoke up, man. In my opinion, it was overdue. For years, these guys have been getting away with murder, talking about him and now his family. And I'm so happy he clapped back. You know, all this Nepo baby crap conversations that they had, as if Bronny wasn't working hard to get where he got, as if he wasn't an All-American, McDonald's All-American player and high recruit, and you know was playing for USC before he had the heart attack. So I'm glad he was out here roasting. Even Windhorse caught one. You know, he said this dude is weird, talking about he's my friend. So a lot of these reporters, man, they make up stories to make themselves look good. And I'm glad that players are starting to fire back. Rui in the starting lineup is cool. I like it. Yeah, I like it too. I don't mind. I still like DFS better, but Rui, I think, benefits, and he's a much better offensive talent when he's healthy. Now, key there being when he is healthy, right? That's the key. As long as we finish sixth, I'm good with it, but I'd love to be in the playoffs with some momentum. I could be surfing. Absolutely, fam. I want the Lakers to finish top 4 still. I think we can. We go on a nice little run. We will do it. We got 11 games. Again, my goal is for us to win 8 of those. My goal hasn't changed. Even though we've lost the last couple, I want to win 8 of the final 11. And that would be a success for me. We can do it. We already showed we can win 8 in a row. I'm not asking for 8 in a row. Just give me 8 out of 11. And, you know, with 3 losses maximum. And I'm happy with that. Yes. Thank you, Kimiko. Make sure you guys tap into playback. First 20 to tap in over there. Not first 20, but the 20 that Kimiko picks that are over there, you know, integrated with the community will get a VIP pass. So stay tuned. And yeah, that's coming up right after this pregame. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, my friend Strager. How you doing? Good to see you. Man, this is going to be an interesting day today. If the Lakers can pull this off, I think we can get momentum going back in the right direction. If they can't pull it off and our defense doesn't show up again tonight, then I do believe we are in trouble, officially in trouble. And it could ruin playoff implications and everything, because standings matter this year. As you guys can see, we've been an infinitely better team in the at home than on the road, right? So of course it matters, and I hope they get it right, because we only have 11 games to get it right, and after that, nothing else, right? Let's see. DFS can keep up with the opponent's offense is hitting. I like DFS. He went on a little bit of a slump, but I think he's going to be big for us. The one thing I do like about him coming off the bench is that now you got Vando and him as the twin defensive lineup coming off the bench that kind of was helping us with our defense. So I like to get back to that. And then Rui and the offensive starters could start off offensively. So it's a nice little balance. Yeah. Look, I believe in JJ. Whatever decision he makes, he's a good coach this year. He's 15 games over 500 in spite of the injuries and trades. And so I trusted him for sure. What up, Dan? He says, Kevin, what's up, Kevin? He said, I think the Lakers are the best. When Luka's a facilitator, over 12 assists, we win. Go Lake Show. I believe it too. However, there's times when the Lakers aren't knocking down shots, and that's when I want Luka to take over, like he's been doing in the past. Now, I've seen a couple clips people have been sending me. I haven't had time to do a good take, bad take, but there's been a lot of bad takes out there. People calling Luka a ball hog. It's stupid. All right, because he's been knocking shots down and getting us going offensively. He hasn't been the real problem. It is everybody's defense that's been the problem. Hence why Magic Johnson is saying defense is all he wants to see. Now, I do agree that when Luka is a playmaker, he makes everybody better, elite. Same thing with LeBron. When he's a playmaker first, making everybody better, elite. But there's times when we're going to need Luka to be that killer, and he's been that for us lately. There's nobody else is stepping up, and then, we got to be, I think, way better defensively, and we got to make sure we wake up on that end. But Lakers got to leave a lot to be desired. Again, they showed us a glimpse of what they could be for those 8 games or so. Now we're going up against the Pacers. Like I said, they've won 7 out of 8 games and 4 straight at home. So, again, it's not going to be a walk in the park. We've already beat them, though, behind Austin Reeves' career high, 45 points, when guys were missing. So we can beat them when guys are missing. We can beat them when guys are healthy. So we're going through an adjustment period, right? JJ mentioned how he feels like it's fatigued. Like it happens during the course of the season. Teams get tired, they get fatigued, and they sometimes mentally tap out. But we can't do that towards the end of the season. We just cannot do that. Braun will turn up tonight. Let's get it, man. Hopefully everybody turns up. Again, my biggest concern is the defensive end. Offensively, I know we haven't been clicking. That's because our defense isn't leading into that. So, excuse me. We need everybody to turn up, including Luka. Luka got to be better defensively. Austin got to be better. LeBron, Rui, everybody in the starting lineup and in the bench has to be better on the defensive end, and that's going to open up opportunities for guys to get on transition. It's going to open up opportunities for guys to get rewarded for playing defense. Like we're at our best when Jackson Hayes is blocking shots and getting out in transition, being fed these passes, or LeBron's leaking out in transition, being fed these passes. That's when we're at our best. So hopefully we get back to that. But again, it starts on the defensive end tonight. And once we get that locked down, I think everything else will like dominoes fall through. Right. So I'm not too concerned, but I am concerned about the defense, and I'm concerned about the road play. Got to be much better on the road. We have been very intermediate on the road. So let's do it. D Free says, I think that there's a lack of focus that can set in for the others. When one person is just dominating the ball and taking most of the shots while also playing iffy defense, it's about finding balance. Same applies for LeBron James, though. There's been plenty of games where early in the season he was, jacking up shots, and we're like, LeBron, drive or pass or do something else. So it applies for everybody. We can't just apply that to Luka because it's convenient right now that we're struggling. I think it's the entire team. And they all have to buy in defensively. LeBron has been very subpar defensively since coming back from injury. Expectedly, because he is coming back from injury, but Austin hasn't been any better. Even DFS was getting cooked, man, on the wing. So I think it's easy for the mainstream media to focus on one player because obviously it's it's easy. It's the biggest targets. They do the same thing to LeBron, but now that we got Luka, we're not going to allow it, man. Luka was tremendous during that stint where LeBron was hurt, and so was Austin. And now all of a sudden, guys come back and we got to gel again together. Now people want to point the finger. This is player fandom 101, and I will not allow it on this channel. When Luka does bad, I call him out. When LeBron does bad, I'll call him out. Same thing for Austin. And right now, they're all doing better on the defensive end. We can't pinpoint it to one person just because he was cooking in the first half of games. All of a sudden, now he's a ball hog. I don't want to hear it. These narratives remind me of when Kobe Bryant was cooking because he couldn't really trust his teammates back when he had Smush Parker and Kwame. And those ball hog narratives came out. Listen, anybody averaging over 5 assists per game is not a ball hog. That includes LeBron, Austin, and Luka. They're all unselfish players. However, it is in their nature to try to save a team when they start struggling. And that is when they got to put on their cape and kind of have spectacular games. I expect the same from LeBron. If LeBron's passing the ball to Austin or Luka and those guys are firing, I want LeBron to take over. That's what I do want, right? And vice versa with those other players. So I think, that's the thing about this sport is that very easy to lock in and zero in on a player when you're struggling. But let's be honest, man, throughout the season, everybody has struggled at one point. And but I like that ESPN is coming out here criticizing our guys because that'll bring out the best of them. They'll have a bigger chip on their shoulder. And as a result, I think they will step up and play bigger for sure. If you guys have, thank you so much, Kimiko. Yes, if you guys have not hit the like button, make sure to hit that like button. No, it applies to everyone. That's correct. It's just Luka has the ball much more than anybody else. So he's going to take the biggest spotlight on that, whether he's playing well or not. Fair enough. But I will say this, during that 8-game winning streak, Luka was on the ball, and that was when we were at our best. LeBron off the ball, actually, I felt like he was unlocking more of his defensive game, which I really liked and really enjoyed. And also leaking out in transition, getting some easy buckets and getting himself going. I still am in favor of benching Austin because I feel like you can put in a good win for defensive purposes or, somebody else in his place, and then Austin can be a primary ball handler off the bench so we can kind of – because right now our bench hasn't been giving us that much production. Gabe is hit or miss on any given night. So that's just me, though. I still like Austin off the bench. He's been playing tremendous. I think, Austin and Luka were playing tremendous when LeBron was out, but one of them is going to take a hit. It's hard to get all of them going if they're on the starting lineup because I feel like although Austin can play off ball, same thing with LeBron, I think it's better suited for just have one of those guys alongside Luka instead of both. But that's still my opinion. We'll see. I stand corrected if they start playing well together on both ends of the floor and they start finding their offensive mojo, then I will be like this. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like there needs to be some sort of a balance between the bench and the starters, and I think that would unlock Austin even more to be a primary ball handler when one of those two guys at least goes to the bench. That's what I want personally. Let's see. So, again, this Laker team has 11 games left, and we're going to have to capitalize on each and every single one of those, starting with tonight. Now, we know the Pacers are a big team. They got a lot of size. They're a team that's going to attack us. They're going to crash the glass, so we have to crash as a unit. I think that's going to be my first key tonight is we got to crash as a unit, right? If we do that, then we'll be all right. If we don't, they're going to get a lot of second chance rebounds, points, and just opportunities, and that wears a team down. During the course of a game, if you are giving up second chance points, rebounds, and all of this, and you got to play twice as hard in the same position, it's going to wear your team down. So I think we got to crash as a unit tonight, man, for sure. I think that's going to be one of my first keys before I even get into the keys of the game. D-Free says, yeah, I just mainly think we asked 3 guys to produce 90% or 95% of our offense. Everyone else has to do everything else. It requires a lot of energy and focus from both sides. Absolutely. Yeah, DFS hasn't been that impressive either, to be honest with you, since he started. He went on a shooting slump, and then defensively, sometimes he was getting cooked. I actually like them coming off the bench better with Vando, so I'm not mad at this move with Rui starting again because Vando and DFS had a good thing going as the twin wing lineups. They calling them wing stop. Shout out to Die Hard for that nickname. But, them the type of teams I want to see, like this disparity. Now, if we can, like I said, one tweak I would make to this roster, as much as I love Austin, I think he would be better suited for off the bench. Just so we can stagger their minutes and there could be elite ball handling at all times. It feels like there's a big drop-off when we go to the bench to Gabe, and he's our primary ball handler. He's more of a spot-up guy than really a handler or a playmaker, right? More of a scorer and defender. So, yeah, I mean, let's see what JJ does moving forward. It'll be interesting. Strega says, yep, we have trouble scoring. We got 3 players that could become the hot hand. I agree. Let them go at it. Yeah, you got to ride the hot hand, whoever that is. It's been Luka lately. He's been getting us started in the first half, and in the second half, he's been making the right passes. Just guys haven't been knocking down shots, is what I've noticed personally. But the mainstream media won't look at that. They'll just look at the stats. Be like, oh, he took this amount of shots. Oh, what a ball hog. That is casual basketball, and this is why I don't always believe in the statistics. I want to see the game through. We watch every single minute, second. As Laker fans, I feel like we have more experience breaking this down than Kendrick Perkins, who might watch a game here or there, because they got to cover other teams and other, segments. So I get it. But for Kendrick Perkins to come out here and say, or not Kendrick Perkins, I'm sorry, who was it? Chris Broussard to come out here and call Luka a ball hog. I'm like, bruh, your player fan card is showing. Tuck it away. Y'all been waiting for a new narrative to talk about. Luka's not a ball hog. Luka is a guy who can get hot and take over games offensively. And that is what LeBron has wanted to play with for a long time. AD was hit or miss in that department. Austin Reeves is more hit, but sometimes he can miss, but he's more hit and he's clutch as well. To me, it's more so the defense is the biggest issue right now. When the effort isn't there. We need that effort to spike up back to what it was. It's almost like we had a brand new toy in Luka, and there was a lot of enthusiasm about playing with him. And so guys were trying extra hard, including Jackson Hayes. And that kind of brand new toy shine has kind of went away a little bit. You know what I mean? So let's see. DFS better off the bench. Yeah, that's what it seems like right now. That's what it seems like right now. When Rui was starting, we was cooking more. Yeah. The chemistry was better. There's more offense to start, and then more defense coming off the bench. Wingstop, there you go. There's my guy. You watching Chris Broussard? Bruh, you're bad. I saw a little clip. It pops up in my timeline on Twitter. I don't watch any of these sports. I literally don't have cable. I watch all my games through Playback TV. Shout out to them. So yeah, I didn't watch Chris Broussard. I just saw a little clip where he said that. And then people tagged me on it. So yeah. We allow fans to call LeBron a ball hog with 14, 12 assists. Of course, I would carry over to Luka. I never allowed any fans to call anybody anything, Sharon. That right there is cap. We sounds like a lot of people. Sharon, I do not allow disrespect to superstars, especially when they play well. We can critique them, but the label LeBron a ball hog would just be not knowing basketball, because LeBron James has been one of the most unselfish superstars of all time. He's up there with Magic. This is why they've compared him to Magic. So saying weave, I have never allowed anybody to call LeBron a ball hog, and I will not allow anybody to call Luka or Kobe or any of the greats that have actually won something a ball hog. That is ridiculous. A ball hog doesn't lead his team to the finals, right? So we're going to kill that narrative right there. Stupid. It's stupid. We're not going to feed into it. Real Laker fans, no, we know. The media is always coming after our star players, and we will not allow that. We didn't allow that with Kobe. Didn't allow that with LeBron. We're not going to allow that with Luka either. All right, leave that to the player fans. And again, these media people that are here, trying to call out certain players, is like, damn, like for when Shannon Sharp does it, your agenda shows. It's like these fake agendas to try to prop up another player and elevate him, and then they bring down another player. This is what Stephen A. does when he talks about the GOAT conversation, acting like LeBron doesn't belong there. I think I saw a little clip today that said, oh, LeBron, they said LeBron James ruined his opportunity to let people get in the way. I was like, what? I didn't even want to click on the video, but I read that the tagline. I was like, clickbait, ridiculous. You know what I mean? We're here to, put a stop to all that, Sharon. We're not going to do that. We're not allowing nobody to call any of the superstars, especially not champions, ball hogs. D3 says, Luka is not a ball hog. That's not possible when you average that many assists. I think the perception is hella-centric. Players they only pass when it's time for an assist at the end of 24. Yeah, I agree with everything D3 says here. Definitely not a ball hog. It's all about perception. People will complain if he does. People will complain if he doesn't, right? So if he's killing and he's been averaging 30 points ever since LeBron went down with injury, even now that he's come back. Now people want to start the ball hog narrative. Before it was Luka's not comfortable. He's shooting a miserable percent from beyond the arc. What happened to his shot? Oh, he's not ready for the limelight. They were starting those narratives. I shut down all of those. Now as he's a ball hog, I'll shut down all of those. So again, narratives they're cute if you're in elementary school. We're adults here. We understand the bigger picture. It's a game-to-game basis, and I think Luka is a cerebral player just like LeBron. They're going to take whatever the defense gives them. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he's been killing in the first half, and then when the defense adjusts and blitzes him and double teams him, he makes the passes. Sometimes he turns it over even. Sometimes he overpasses. But yeah, ball hog and Luka, or ball hog and LeBron, or ball hog and Kobe, it just doesn't go. Right? Again, these are narrative-based storylines for clickbait because they know we're going to click and we're going to want to see what type of hatred is being spewed. So it works. It works to that degree. So credit to them for starting these ridiculous narratives. Hey, by the way, you're welcome, David, and congratulations to everybody who received the care package. And I want to say shout out to Poppy, man, because not only did they bless me, but they blessed some of my supporters who showed love in the comment section. Most of you guys got the packages already. Congratulations, man. And I'm happy. Again, I only work with companies that bless my people as well, and I appreciate Poppy for doing that. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none, right? Other Lakers shows allowed it, and I've always said I appreciate your even-headedness. I appreciate that, Sharon. Absolutely. It's all love. We do not listen. We're not prisoners of the moment here. We've been watching basketball, and I presume all you guys have as well for a long time. Me, 28, 29 years and counting. I lost count, but it's up there, almost 30 of watching basketball, especially Laker basketball. And I will say that, again, it could be because I mainly watch Lakers basketball, but I feel like the Lakers always have the limelight. And that comes with good, but it also comes with a lot of bad. And, people love to throw hate and spew, again, narratives. And I'm glad that I have my platform where I could, basically address a lot of these fake narratives and help wake some people up who believe these narratives. And those of you that already didn't believe, like Sharon, we can definitely have these educated conversations and say, okay, this is funny that Chris Broussard called him a ball hog. It's like he just went to the finals. Ball hogs don't get to the finals. They try to call my man AI a ball hog too. We're talking about one of the best ISO buckets ever. Ironically, they didn't try to call Kyrie Irving a ball hog, right? But it's almost like when there's no cracks in your armor, they try to wedge one. They try to make one in there, and I think LeBron touched on it beautifully today on the Pat McAfee show. I thought he touched beautifully about how, they try to create a false narrative about him. And because, he's been a good resident his entire NBA career. So, yeah. So this is what JJ Redick said about the team's recent offensive struggle. He said, it's more of an art than a science. So what I think he means to say by that is it's all about, he said it's not basically math. They're going to figure it out. It's all about practicing what they're preaching and what they're practicing. They're going to figure it out. They're not worried about it, right? Let's see here. Swizz TV, what's up, my brother? He said, Luka isn't a ball hog, but sometimes his shots break our rhythm. But that can apply to everybody. We've seen this with Austin when he takes a bad three-pointer, or with LeBron when he settles for a three instead of, attacking the rack or something. So it really could happen to anybody. I just think sometimes, we can be biased towards a certain thing. And that's okay. We're all fans, and, we have the right to fan out however we want. I'm not going to tell you guys how to think. But this is what I do know. He's not a ball hog. End of story. Bam. And I'm glad you said it, Swizz. Because, yeah, it's funny. It's funny that that's what they want to come up with now, but there's always something, isn't it? All right. Let's go ahead and do our Prize Picks entries for the day. This video is sponsored and brought to you by Prize Picks, guys. Now, you guys know that with Prize Picks, promo code DTLF gets you $50 when you deposit and play your first 10. So make sure you guys do that tonight. Let's see. DFS, points, rebounds, and assists. He's been getting it. He's coming off the bench now. I'm going to pick him up there. We are going up against the Pacers. I think Halliburton has been killing it with the assist. So I'm going to pick him up there. Luka been taking hella threes. So I'm going to pick him up there. I'm just going to go off the top right there. And then one more. LeBron James, 24. You know what? He hasn't had a great game. I think tonight might be his first one. I'm going to pick him up there. I believe that we will win. Let's hit it. So, yeah, that's going to be my Prize Picks entry for the game. We're gonna do let's do $3. Let's do $3. I think we have $3 exactly. Oops. There you go. $3 gets us 30 with the power play. And this is my entry. Again, it is Dorian Finney-Smith over on points, rebounds, assist. Tyrese Halliburton over on assist. And then Luka over on threes. I think he'll make at least 4. And then LeBron over on points tonight. $3 will get us 30. And remember, promo code DTLF to get that entry in there, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. I could use some birthday money. I'm taking out my cousin tomorrow. So, again, for those of you just tuning in, I most likely will miss the post game tomorrow, but I will be here for pregame, and I got you guys moving forward. All right. Final keys to tonight's matchup because we're going to need it. Got to crash as a unit. They got more size. They're athletic. They're a really tough team to deal with. So we got to crash as a unit tonight. But that is not key number one. Key number one is going to be defense. We've been disinterested the last 3 games. We have lost the last 3 games, okay, by way of blowouts. So defense is key number one. Key number 2, take care of the basketball. You're on the road. Gotta play through your superstars. I'm gonna mix 2 keys in there because there's that many. All right. Take care of the basketball. You're on the road. Play through your superstars. And then the final key, as I've already mentioned before, man, and it's imperative. It's imperative that we trust each other, share that rock, and hopefully shots will fall. But again, it starts on the defensive end. Shout out to Magic for highlighting that. No, not my birthday tomorrow. It is my cousin's birthday. So yeah. And shout out to my cousin, man. Happy birthday to her. She is watching. She is an awesome person and deserves all the love in the world. So appreciate her. Our stars have to set the tone, of course. We got to run it through them. And LeBron spoke about it, and hopefully we can be about it, because that's where it starts. It starts at the top. We know he's still the leader verbally of this team, right? You might not be the leader physically, and he may be. Who knows? We'll see. But, he's verbally the leader of this team. He's the most vocal, and so we need him to lead in that way. Luka might be the leader as far as, on the ball and the production we get there. And then Austin, he's a leader in his own way. So those are our 3 leaders or 3 stars, and we need them to show up on any given night and on every given night for these final 11 games so we can get as many victories as possible. Thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes, man. If she is watching, she will be very happy to see that. So thank you, Prince. Thank you, Peruvian guy. Kibby Cole. Appreciate you all. And again, I will see you guys here for post game. For those of you that follow me on Playback, don't stay back. Download the app today. We're almost at 1,100. We can continue to grow as one of the best playback channels on there. And there's some important announcements coming on there that with new sports added. So make sure you guys follow for a chance at a VIP pass. All right. I will be over there in a bit, and I will see the rest of you guys here for post game. All right. Enjoy the game. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Appreciate you, diehard. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and subscribe if you already haven't with the post noti bell. And again, to all my members, salute. Appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys soon. All right. Enjoy the game. Go Lakers, baby. Let's get back on track.